we're going to be looking at ankle locks on the ground. Ankle locks, ankle breaks, without the break. And then we're going to look at, I'm going to actually let you choose your own adventure tonight when it comes to it, because we're going to look at a couple different katas to get into, said ankle lock, or to get in that. And one of them is pretty interesting. The other one's a little more routine, but it depends on your willingness to jump on somebody, basically. Yeah. So, but let's actually first start with Kim. Come on. Let's actually first start with kind of one of the ankle locks that we're going to look at. So we're just going to start on the ground, so kind of still warming up here. And wow, that was quite the. That was her knees. Okay, so we're in guard here, and she's got me locked up here. And so first, I want to start with actually just pushing, just stepping, and start kind of getting this here. Just
let go now.
It's up to you, But what I really want is I don't want us just to be kind of stay square and just step like this, because you can see Kim can kind of still hold on. Now, obviously, I got a lot of options and things to do here. What I want to do, as we get to here, we're going to start turning in a little bit, start putting a little pressure on that hip. Notice how her knee is now inside her ankle. It's not lined up like this. I kind of want it to be here. This is a smidge more uncomfortable for Kim, okay? Because invariably, what I want to do is I want to be able to get back to here on this heel.
Please don't kill me.
And break it. Now, here's the thing about ankles, all right? They break very easily. They just don't go, ow, 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 oh, you're gonna break, tap, tap, tap. They just break. It's like, fine, fine. Oh, crap, gone. That's just the way that that's just the way they work. Let's switch our position a little bit. So be very careful. So again, just kind of as warm up, we're here, we're in guard, we're gonna kind of post up. And then as we kind of come, we're going to just start putting a little pressure in here on this leg to kind of get this knee inside. This arm's just going to come back. Our elbow pit's kind of going to go into the heel. We're going to lift up. We're just going to put a little tension there. All right? And we're going to start working from there. Cover this, just to make sure. We'll deal with this a little bit more in a second. I'm going to be nice. I'm not putting my knee in here for right now. But we're just going to start with this right now. Okay? Make sense? All right, just warm. Go.
So you're not falling back?
Not yet, Kim. Not yet. Not yet. It has a lot of too much distance in here. So kind of if we're down, stuff like that. I'm in here. I'm not going to get into a position where I'm, actually let's turn so we can kind of see, where I'm like this. There's a lot of space right here. All he has to do in this position is just straighten his leg out. Straight, whoa, and I'm kind of hurting. So as I'm in here, I'm taking like the biggest step forward to here. Now try to push me out. A lot harder, right? A lot more difficult just because that knee's so far up. So I'm taking this in deep, maybe even holding in here. Now, as this here, I can start turning. I can start affecting the hip more. So instead of being up on the leg trying to affect the hip, I'm actually like legit right on the hip, right? So I can really affect this more and then come back and get in and have a lot more of a break. And harder to push now, right? So as this comes in, make this big. Like sit right on top of them, If I'm out here, like I said, you're gonna get pushed right. Yeah, knees can come in there. I want him really just kind of crammed right up, So this is now a lot different. Okay, make sense? Cool, go. Yeah, go ahead.
Really quick attitude. If you want a little bit of assistance getting your partner turned, encourage them with punches. So you can always, from this position, not these big, massive strikes, but just a couple little hooks, just to get him to turn his head a little bit. And now this is a lot closer. If he starts to get this foot in, that's okay. We still have places that we can go, but we'll worry about that when we get there.
Yeah. Good.
Things that Mr. White is working on here, and I want us all to be aware of it. Who here is getting into the spot where they're working through this, they're dealing some shots, they're getting up here, but this just feels a hair too far away, right? So the more you rotate and the more that this comes forward, the further the ankle gets toward your rib cage. If I don't rotate much and say I were just kind of step in straight, this thing is way the heck back here. So Mr. White's entrance here is encouraging them to turn onto their sides, and it's kind of pushing this knee out a little bit so that now this has a little bit more access. When we get to going over all the way and coming down, that process happens naturally there too, but I want you to be aware that if you're having issues getting back to this ankle, One of the places you might want to consider is how much rotation you have on this entrance. My knee is initially pointing this direction. By the time I've entered, my knee is pointing all the way over here. So we have a substantial amount of rotation in there. I want to make sure that we're not missing that. That's important because it's going to be the same thing from there as it would be if you were kind of rotating up over the top and trying to go for a breakdown here. That hip entry being circular or having a circular angle to it is important. That's all. Yep.
Angles, ankles.
Dust to dust.
Oops, guys, stupid thing.
Good, because Paul's here.
Good. Okay. So now let's actually. So let's back up. I'm going to cut between kata and the actual the ankle breaks just to kind of. There's a lot on your hips and knees after a while, but we're going to come back and keep changing. So I'm going to give you the choice of two things, and you're going to get to choose what to do. We're going to do either Fubi, which means dominate, all right, or a version of Fubi, or we're actually going to look at Gekkan, which means moon liver. Both of them then will then transition into the potential game. But so I wanted, because Fubi is very it's quasi-scary for people, and if they're not feeling up to it, it's not something you want to do. So who wants to be my dummy? Hands up. So Fubi, Shinip Fubi, dominate, starts from, it classically starts from this choke. He's doing this to me. Boom, yeah, right there, just like that. I'm gonna jump on you now.
Yep.
Okay, you remember this?
Yep.
So I get this, I'm gonna, here, all right? Hit, sorry, maybe grab his sword, come down. Okay, that's the actual kata. And you can see from here we got potential for leg stuff. Not what we're working on right now, so we're going to adjust, but that's the actual kata, all right? So, does anybody want to practice that just for a minute? Yeah. Okay, so cool. All right, show it again then. So, UKs, be ready.
Yeah.
All right?
It's not.
So it's here, it's not that bad. So all I'm doing is I'm just jumping and wrap my legs around his waist. So here, and if you just went down, great. Now from here, I'm hitting, and I'm just going back down between his legs, so his feet are here. My hands are tracing back down. I'm holding these things and straightening my legs out and back that way. Okay, now from there would be a groin kick and a roll out for the actual kata. All right, just so you can see it. Got it? All right, practice. It's fun. It's good times. Good times.
If you fall to a side, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
For you. Instead of falling straight back.
Yeah, yeah. Keep your mouth closed. And if they have swords and knives, if they have knives and stuff like that, it's great because you can draw them out on them as they go. That's the one, like he had a sword, you jump on him and you actually draw his sword out as you're going down to cut him. Yeah, so stay with your current partners just for size and strength. Paul, you just go in and play with Lynn and Jackie, please. Perfect. Or these big guys. You choose.
Like so. He's kind of over me now, and that's not really what I'm looking for yet. I don't really want to pull him down on me. I've seen a couple folks go to pull the guard and both people fall forward. So, same grasp on. I want to try to imagine that I'm going to try to put my hips all the way through his tailbone and spine. I'm trying to make him also look that way. And then now, here we go. Now we're starting to work on all the directions. But if you pull this guard and your weight's away from somebody and it surprises them, it's fairly likely for them to pull down on top of you, which is fine if that was your plan. But it comes with risks. Yep. Watch this here. Kyle pulls his guard, kind of goes back, and so Aaron's doing a good job of getting his base out. He's getting his balance here, and all of a sudden those feet are no longer within reach. So what I'd like us to try, that's perfect. That's perfect. You guys can come on up. Everyone's beating on each other. If I have Mr. Arden here, what I want to do is, when I go down, I want to go down as far between his legs as possible. So we're working this here, and if I let myself go back down this way, all he has to do is walk those feet back. Which, granted, that puts his upper body at some risk for arm bars and things like that.
That was good.
As you descend, I'd like you to slowly descend. We'll get back out. Yep. Help me out with the turtle. As you go down, try and see if you can get your shoulders and hips as far down between them as possible. If going for the hips isn't getting the takedown, you can work the knees. But that keeps you close to them. So you slide down slowly and see if you can get that nice placement in there. So a couple more minutes on this. We won't take long. Thanks.
Okay, so we're back down on the ground. We're here, we've got here, we've kind of come up from here. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple different options because it's gonna depend on the person you're with, their flexibility, the position that you're in, the whole 9 yards. I'm actually gonna give you 3 options, all right? 1, like Mr. LeBay did, actually go right on over. Capture right into here, all right? If you can get this, great. If you can get this and fall back, great. If you want to, another option, you guys are all talented, so I'm gonna give you some choices. Here, come on over, here, stand up. Trap that leg and really work that hip. All right? That's a good stretch. All right, and that puts, just so you know, that puts a boatload of stress in that hip. Absolute boatload. Third one, up here, boom, we got it. I don't feel I can get either one of those. Great, tuck this leg in, capture this as you come back, trap this hip down, break it this way. Now, just like we have arms, you know, 2 joints and a ball and socket, 2 joints and a ball and socket. All right, so we have to make sure we're addressing all 3 of those. If I'm just here with Jack and I just turn her ankle, she's gonna turn her knee and turn her hip, right? So I want to stop that hip from being the counter, put pressure on that knee so the ankle's the only thing that can go. Does that make sense? All right, so really on this, push down on this hip, pull up on this, should give a tap. Again, don't go too crazy. All right? If you happen to lose the foot from this position, let's just start with this one. We'll skip by the other ones, come back to them. So I'm giving you a lot. If this doesn't work and the foot, you lose the foot, come over, grab it from here, put the pressure on the knee and break it this way. All right? Just snap it that way. If you can get them on the side, great. If not, great, fine, that'll work. Snap from there too. Invariably, if I can get her to here, even better. Okay, so one more time. Let me borrow Paul, just so you can see Jack. I'm probably not gonna do a stand-up on Paul.
Did it?
Yeah, maybe I will. We'll see how you feel, buddy. All right, drop me up, buddy. Here, all right. You hear trap here. This leg's gonna tuck in. We're gonna come back. This is gonna go right to his hip, and we're gonna trap into here. All right, break it this way. If I lose the foot and it crosses over, pressure down on the knee, it goes in here, break his ankle back this away, okay? If you feel like, hey, I know that one by heart, and you have the flexibility, and your UK has the ability to be able to kind of get up into here and then go over and around, great, go over and around. Try that version too. If you're like, okay, I got that one, great, stand on up and do that. He's a flexible guy, you know? Yeah. And now go over. And see how flexible it gets you, big guy. All right? Have fun. Yeah, a good time for a front roll.
Everyone else gave 1 hand. Adam gave 2. So there you go. So I got Adam right over here. So thing number 1 is particularly if you're stepping over or you're falling back, we were sort of working this little bit of a reach back, particularly as a way to look at the path of acquisition of this leg. If you're in a spot here where you're kind of in the middle of this fight and you're trying to reach back and find this thing, meanwhile he's probably hitting me or trying to pull me down, he's breaking my posture, he's got a lot of stuff he can do. Presuming we're moving on with either trying to step over or you know, whether we're coming all the way over to here for the break or we make it most of the way around and we sort of fall, I'm going to let that ankle come to my elbow a little bit. That's something that the first variation, since we didn't have all the follow through, it didn't do that as easily for you. You had to reach for it more. So I'm going to ask for you to reach for it less, but be prepared to catch it. Thing number 2, angle. Angle of your position relative to your partner here. So we're working through. If I'm going around and I happen to go backwards or down, would you say our spines are roughly perpendicular right now? Our spine, oh sorry, roughly parallel. I can't do words. Me no talkie good, I'm sorry. Thanks. See, that's how I know everyone's paying attention. from here, Adam has a pretty easy roll. Even if I've got this hip cover, he can probably roll, and you know, we could roll with, but we're eventually gonna lose something there. So if you do find yourself going down and you are in line with your partner, use your feet on the hips, use your legs on his legs to help start to break some of that ankle, angle down. At this point, our spines are roughly 45. You can work the hip. You can also pressure down through the knee and hide your feet under their legs and butt. Yeah, exactly. I don't want him to have easy access to that. But this is going to be a little bit of a beefier break here. He doesn't have a happy leg alignment with which he can roll around with. Now he's dealing with a more extended hip, and I should say a more flexed hip. And no, that is extended. I can't do my joint actions today. And then we have our break. So you can always adjust your angle down. Bonus, like I said, that tends to protect your feet. Who here has done like rolling or randori with ground fighting, and one person goes for an ankle lock and then both people are fighting for ankle locks? Yeah, so this is a way to protect yourself a little bit ahead of that. That's all. So 2 things. Everyone grasp that okay? All right, Yosh.
Triangle coming in with to him. I'm not thinking about going up and going over. I'm thinking about going this way to get him on that hip the whole time. And if he happens to go far enough, like, oh, great. So now I can wait and sit right in here. I'm really sitting on him right now. I want this tight. Yeah, I want my center of gravity kind of over his center of gravity as much as possible. The more my center of gravity's back, yeah, more he has. I want this tight and twisted. And then from here, I'm just going to push my center of gravity up over his center of gravity. Drop that leg. If I'm out here, not the same, is it?
No. No, that's a little more tight.
That's a little more tight. So that's what I'm saying. This is, I'm snaking this all around. There's no gap here. Because I should be able to not even need it before I forward roll or side roll. Okay? Make sense? So that's really snug. Really snug. Yeah. Yeah.
The great green man in the background, man behind the curtain. There's a lot of fighting going on back there, which is a lot of fun. We've talked about position before submission. Everyone's familiar with what I'm talking about when I say those terms, yes? If you're not, let me know. I'll clarify. I love talking. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to give them a lot of freedom to move and counter. Oh, no, get back here because you're actually going to win. So, yeah, winning's a lot of fun. And all I'm going to ask you to do is I'm just going to ask you to fight back and not let me get the ankle lock. I'm going to deliberately kind of make a couple minor mistakes here. I've got someone stronger than me. I'm working this. I'm not really, yeah, I'm trying to get to here, but this is a real kind of fight. I don't really like this. Now I have to try to push him away, and now all of a sudden, yeah, oh God, oh, we finally got somewhere. Cool, we finally got a break. But man, that was a little hairy. What happened there? That was perfect.
I didn't win though.
You didn't win. I thought you were going to, but you did. Yes, all right, cool. But it was.
You didn't go really deep on your first step in.
Okay, what was the result of that?
He had more space to move his leg.
Yeah, you can see he had his hands in there. He was able to start grabbing and making problems for me. What else happened there?
He didn't hit his hip quickly.
Yeah.
So that gave him the mobility.
Didn't cut off any movement, right? So if I have Mr. Paul back here, one more time. A couple things to help you prevent their movement. I don't want them to move freely throughout this technique. Thing number 1, which is something Mark said earlier, but I want to make sure everyone kind of kept on, was he's stacking the hips. Mr. White's taking the space. I don't care if Paul grabs me from here. He goes to grab and pull. Doesn't do anything. I'm fine. I've got a little bit of a brace here, and I'm like 10% effort. You can just kind of pass that. If coming up short, I haven't stacked his hips. He's not dealing with my weight. Let's rotate. Paul's the one in the tough position there. My weight's not controlling his position at all. I don't like that. So when I enter, I want to make sure that he's eating. You can't see this, but the inside of my thighs are riding up against his hamstrings. Like, we've taken a lot of space here. Now when I turn over this space, I'm turning effectively on top of his hip. So that turn on top of the hip prevents his hip from getting too squarely and starts giving me access to this fairly easily. Just like, thank you very much. Just like with a lot of other techniques where you're taking someone's posture and you're working over them, it's really difficult to tip somebody over when they're this far away from you and then pull them down. But if you're right up on them and you've tipped them back, it's the easiest thing in the world. When you enter for this, make your weight pivot over them as much as you can. That's absolutely. Oh, I lost the. Probably in here somewhere. There it is.
So it's very hard for me to get him to turn if I'm far away. But if I'm close, anything I do moves him. I have to be close to this move. Now I can move, no problem. But I have to have this tight. I have to be over the joint that's moving. If I'm gonna, but what looks weird is because his knee's bent, it looks like we're out here. And that's not the case. Very hard to move that hip socket from out here. I need to be working on this part of his legs. Now we can move his hip socket. I can't really move his hip socket too good with this. His knees, I gotta go through the knee and he doesn't like it. So I want to be in here. Now we can start moving things, right? And I think everyone's trying to play out here, go through the knee to get to the hip. No, screw the knee, go through the knee and sit on the damn hip. Work the hip from this area down. Does that make sense?
Work the hips.
Work
Just like Shakira told
me. Yeah. She gave this whole thing away back in 2003.
She made millions off it. We made nothing. But
do not lie. They do not lie.
So we're really gonna henka. All right. So yeah. So same mentor. So now instead of doing this jump and up, I'm actually going to still invade his space, almost like a very forward kind of a sotogake. Here. Yep. All right. Now the great thing is he gets to win. Because he's going to roll me over. And look at where we are. All right? You go right from there. Now he can actually work the technique. So the attacker is actually going to get to win. All right? Because this is a kind of version of this. I mean, this first, so we're going to do the first one. He's grabbing, I'm jumping. I'm getting between this. Now, could we work some stuff here? Absolutely, we might in a second. But the whole goal is I'm adjusting this up. So now I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, come here. Just like, just going to go right through it. All right? And it's a little more trickier than just walking through it. It's not quite like this. I actually have to use my body to get him going back, but at the same time, keeping him in place. This is what's tricky. Right, you're not going backwards. Right, you're not walking back. Right, I normally do this, you just keep walking back. Keep walking back. Yeah, so I have to find a way to, as I'm doing this, trap his feet there, so I can get right into here. So we can go. Make sense?
Yeah. Scrunching me right down on myself.
Scrunching you right down, which is before I'm kind of scrunching you down by jumping on hips. Now I'm scrunching you into your hips a different way. Same concept. All right, make sense? Go ahead.
Well, part of it's going to be depending on what the hell is happening to us, number one. You know, so if I have Adam and he's doing this to me and, you know, grab one way and he's kind of pulling me in, I could do the jump, but I could also do this. Now, there's still a jump in here. Right? I'm not just walking over. I'm still like, you know, and driving him down to the ground. We can still jump on the hips. We're just going a different way. Now, if he's doing this and kind of maybe pushing me back, I'm probably not going to go that way now. Right? I'm probably going to maybe pull in and jump and try to lasso him with my legs and take him down that way. All right? So remember, if we're starting and you're giving like a lot of push and I'm trying to go that way, and I just can't. Well, I could soften him up a little bit. You know, a couple fingers of the eyes always help. Stepping around, so to bring my waist close to you, right? And now pushing down on him, pulling up on me, so I can jump right in there. And if we're really nice light, we can actually do that and then kick out. Actually, as I'm tough, kick out into the legs. All right, makes sense. So, what time is it? So now I'm going to give you couple options. We know how to get into this from the second one. Well, how do we get to the ankle lock from the first version? So he's here. Oh, I'm jumping on top and going back down. Yeah, you're gonna grab me. Yeah. So I'm here, and this is, wow, and here, wow. Now, this isn't incredibly unfamiliar, except my legs are kind of in the wrong position, right? I need to have this leg kind of over here at this point in time. So as this goes down, we're gonna get a kick into this, and he'll probably want to kind of kick back. I don't think he's just gonna leave his feet here. My guess is he's going, oh, great. Tucking this right up and in, and boom. Just gonna break it this way. Okay? Because if he falls down, my guess is he's gonna topple. If he just falls down like this and just lays there, well, he's unconscious and already dead. Technique over, I really don't need to break him anymore. He's just out. But my guess is he's okay, fine, okay. All right. We'll just tuck that knee in there, take him that way. All right? Makes sense? Yep. All right, go ahead. Jump around.
I've kind of gone over and I'm in here and I've lost this, and so now I'm doing this. Two things on this. One, do it on this side of the body. Do it on the low side of the body. It makes a bigger difference. Doing it up here does not work as well. Put it down here and work it. Second thing, don't do it like this. That just rolls all the muscles, stuff like that, rolls heavy, it just doesn't work. Put this thing in like this, jam this thing down. Now do it.
And there goes the inside of my knee too, right there.
Bigger difference. That will break. It's like the difference between if we're standing up and I'm doing a multi-gyaku like this, or I'm doing a multi-gyaku like that. That angle makes a difference. I want to jam that foot back this way before I bring it in.
Can we play with a different variant for a couple minutes just to talk about this? You guys have seen, so I'm pulling something from something everyone's seen here. Mr. Adam, if I could have you just to one knee down, one leg up. I wanted to pick something because hopefully we've all seen sport. If we haven't seen this, and this is something we want to make sure we work on. Yeah. So we're kind of working this idea where we're sort of shrimping out from under here, rolling back, taking the space, and trying to get this nice. We got a little bit of a figure four grip, and we're getting the edge of the foot. Notice brakes don't go this way. You'll be fine. The break happens because I almost pulled down with this foot, get that heel to 90 degrees, and then we're braking around that. If for some reason we were trapped on this side, it'd be the same thing, where we're trying to get this to 90, and it's a crankshaft, just like a lot of our other brakes. Let's practice that sequence. Has anybody not seen that or is really unfamiliar with it? Okay, good. Just for a couple minutes.
You guys haven't seen it?
Oh, okay.
I think we've only showed it ever like one time, and I remember people going, whoa, because it's something that you and I used to do all the time, so I think it's...
Maybe. Demonstrate this?
Yeah.
All right.
So now we've gone to this situation instead of this person you need to put this into one of your scenarios. All right, practice it. We'll practice it for like 5-10 minutes, and then put it in your scenario. So put it in here, you roll down. I lay here. He's going to get the window. Yep. What he's doing with his arm, please. His hand position is very important on this.
It's tight up against here, and I'm filling all the space under his butt. I'm really touching my knee to my elbow. And you can hold body to that space. We're kind of we're putting our legs on his legs for a second. It's not forever, but it doesn't have to be because snap and we move on. Notice again that 90-degree heel. If you find yourself pointing it, make sure you fix it, get your hands right, and then work it right. The movement by itself. You've done that. And I know you can do that.
That's it. Yep. Think onikadaki. You can't do an onikadaki with the arm like that, right? You do it like this. Same thing with the ankle. Makes sense? Okay, so let's spend the next... Actually, switch partners. Since everyone kind of feels comfortable, let's put some littles and talls together. This will be fun. And just let's work that ankle. Get out for like the next 10 minutes or so, and then we'll throw it back into the whole routine. All right? Lynn, I want you to fall. Paul's like, no!
Particularly if we're using a figure four style break to an ankle. Mr. Adams, if I can borrow you again. I'm just going to borrow your leg for a second if I could. That's fine, sure. This is great. So you can relax. Yeah. So if you're working on this figure four and your hand is mid-foot, you're not going to have a lot of leverage getting around that. We want maximum distance from the fulcrum in order to achieve the most leverage, right? So you'll want to try to catch something. You'll sometimes hear people talk about like toe locks. Think of this as almost like a toe lock. You just happen to be breaking an ankle with it. Let the toes and the outside edge of your foot be a target. Same thing goes if we were working from this inside here. If I'm mid-foot, I have a lot less braking potential than if I have a little bit more of an outside track there. Okay. Just want to make sure you guys have proper leverage for what you're doing. Does that make sense? Okay. That's all.
And they're just freaky person with crazy long tibias, femurs. Doc, what is it? What is this like? What is this bone? Tibia. Very crazy long tibia. You know, so you haven't seen this. You got crazy long tibias. All right. So, yeah, you're down. Yeah, flip on. Well, actually, okay, fine. Yeah. So here, whoop, whoop. I got it here, and this thing is like a mile and a half away. You know, and I did get the grip perfect, and I'm in here, and I don't want to go. You know, she's not gonna let me do that, right? So we're talking. Okay, we got this 90 degree, and we got this 90 degree. You're gonna be my down person, you're gonna be my up person. The other place that we see this most often is in Onikadaki, right? 90-90, right? This is where we wanna have it. This is the optimal, perfect spot for Onikadaki. Anything else is bullshit. That's wrong. This is the 90, you know, that I'm really kind of concerned about. Because if I go like this, I break this 90, he's out of it. There's nothing there. But if I keep this 90 and I come in, this is still gonna do some damage to his shoulder. If I have this 90 degree back here, this is gonna do damage to his shoulder. This 90's been sacrificed, but man, there's still, I'm gonna mess that shoulder up. It's this one. It's like a wrench and a lever, right? You know, you get something in, you get the ratchet, you know, ratchet and socket, right? You put it over the nut and it comes out. Well, what if you tried to do that and you kind of went at this angle? It's going, it wouldn't work, right? It would slip off, right? So we're here. This is the one that matters. I can come into here. Boom, got him. Go out to here. Got him. Same thing down here. Don't be too hung up on the knee on this 90. It's this one that makes a difference. All right? So I can't, right, so if I reaches out, we just go to here. Right? So instead of breaking it here, I'm going to break it on this angle. Right? Oh. Or vice versa, I roll in like this, and I break it down this way. Now let's break it on this way. This 90 has stayed intact the whole way through. This one's changed, just like I changed his shoulder. Right? Do we see it? This is the one that makes the difference. So don't think, oh, I got to have it perfect. Yeah, she's going to kick you. Won't work. It's too long. Well, bring it out, fine. Whoa, do it in here. Or, wow, do it up in here. either one are fine. You know? I think you'll have more torque if you can get both of them. Great. You get the knee and the ankle. Yeah. But it may not work. You know, typically, arms are shorter. You could be shorter than that. So, or if you're going to measure height, Lynn was trying to do this on Paul. She basically had to sit up and almost hit her head on his foot. You know, it's not going to happen. Right? But we can make that adjustment by lowering the knee and keeping the 90 degree break from being here to here, or now it's over there. Do you see what I'm saying? As long as that ankle is there, you're going to have something. All right? And you're not going to have time to dilly-dally and crawl up their leg to get it. They're just not going to, they're going to kick you in the head 18 times from Sunday. You want that on, you want it quick, you want it fast, you want it snapped. You want them out of there and not being able to run after you. Cool? All right, keep going. 2. On this, Adam. So I just want to know somebody. So what if he's, like right now he's doing this really nice thing where he's like kind of up and he's giving me the room. Hey, thank you. So much to do that. What if he's not? What if he's sitting on me? No, I mean, yeah, it just happens to have that, but like, that's not gonna work. That's gonna be a problem. Well, remember that thing we were doing earlier with the knee? Where we're putting our hip into it and kind of getting them to shift? Great. Great. Let's go into it that way. Yeah, I mean, he's sitting on me right now. I mean, great. This is, yeah, I'm sure he's not, he could be choking me, he could be doing something else, but he's probably just running at me. I'm trapped. You know, I got like a lot of stuff going on, you know, but as this is going up, oh, I got his weight shifted, right? Just like before, that where he was, remember he was down and I shifted and got his body over? I'm doing it right now. Whoa. Right? Now I'm just going to bridge, just like I was rolling down a mountain. Okay? So I can get right to that angle, right that way. A little more aggressive, a little more, I wouldn't call it as an injury, you know, this slight kind of thing, you know. But I mean, we could even be like, I could be holding, you could be sitting on me, this could be just like holding me down. You know, it's like, oh man, hey, like, what are you doing? You know, like, fucker, you know, and we go from there. So we can use some of the stuff that we were looking at before, not because he may be semi, I might not be able to do that vine wrap, you know, but I can start doing what we were doing here before to him in this position. Make sense? Yeah. Sure. Cool, man. Let's try it. I also want this turned this way, inflected as much as possible. All right, so I actually want, or I guess it's supination or pronation, right? Sure. Supination, pronation, I can't remember. So up an inverse pronation. I don't want him like this and trying to break it like this. I still have a 90-degree, but it's not the same, is it? It's a lot of stretch here, but it's not the break. I want it turned this way and then around. That has more torque. It will still have a 90, but it could be like this. Like there's this angle to here, but there's also the foot can kind of go back to back. I want it this way first and then into it, right? Does anyone kind of see that, understand that? That just layers that up and goes. It's the difference between, so like I used that in multi-gyaku before, right? Like this is a bad 90, right? This is a good 90. It's adds a little bit more to that. I could, if I did it like this wouldn't be it. It's crammed into there before it's broken that way. Cramming it. I'm cramming it back into the joint before it takes.
Can I add a verbiage to this?
Sure.
The
Yeah, let's line up. Yeah, let's line this circle up.
ankle locks are a cool study, I think specifically because the ankle is really, in all respects, a very stable joint. It bears your body weight. on rocky environments and terrain. You can walk. You know, I can't walk 30 miles on my shoulders and elbows. I could do it on my ankle joint. Because it is such a strong joint, relatively speaking, for a small joint, that makes it a really good study in what makes a joint easier to break. And a lot of what Mr. White's telling you, using wrists as an analogy here, we're taking a joint out of its natural alignment as essentially really as much as possible. We know that a wrist like this can turn substantially, a whole forearm can turn substantially, but you try to do it like this and you can already feel how much harder that is on the actual arm itself. Little things that you'll pick up, like with that little figure 4 on the foot, giving it just a little bit of that inside roll on the ankle. Gives you a little bit more torque over the top, which is nice, but also takes the ankle from being on top of the shin. Here's the bottom of the foot up here, and the shin down here, and just kind of puts it off over here. All of a sudden now this break becomes a lot easier to do.
Yep.
You have to remember, it's not just bones in there. It's tendons, it's cartilage, there's a lot of soft tissue structure in there. So anything we're doing to create some space and separate those things, get them a little bit out of alignment, is going to be a boost to really any break that you're looking at. So I wanted to just throw that.
No, it's a good point. Anytime you can find any extra space in a joint. So Jack, if I could borrow your quick, just kneel right here. So I think we all know, like, you know, I think because I pounded in too quick, you know, Hongyaku here, right? There's that 90, right? And there's break. But if I actually pronate her hand in like this a little bit, man, that's, right? One thing, I'm not even going forward yet. That's a whole different ballgame. I'm taking up space on every axis, but also this one. So I'm actually rotating out before I go. And man, let me tell you, that, and even the spreading of the fingers, it just makes a big difference. And so that was that difference of that ankle, not just leaving it here and then just going, which great, it will work. Now go. Man, just really, thank you. It just really makes it suck more. And isn't that the point? sometimes, you know, just sucking a little bit more.
If somebody was going to be reefing on my head, trying to yank it side to side this way, I would much rather them be reefing on it with it sitting like this than with it sitting like this or like this.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine getting your head yanked on with your neck at a kink.
Yeah.
Yeah, things break a lot easier, don't they? So, yeah, which also good for your neck breaks.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. That's how chiropractors do it. Your head isn't perfect. They tilt it off to the side to give it a little bit. They take it and they give you that little bit extra at the end to take out all that spot, and then they nail you. So, bastards.
Nail them back when you're done with the appointment.
Yeah. Voluntary. But questions, thoughts? You guys did great. That was a fun night. That was really fun. Jumping up on each other, breaking each other's ankles. That's
I
so
gotta
cool.
say, I like seeing that new belt on Lynn.
That is very nice. I like that. I like
It's
that.
becoming.
Are you green with envy? All right, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Take care. Nice job, Lana. All right.